So, I guess on to more serious matters.
Yeah.
How do you assess how that game unfolded?
A strange game. I was actually quite pleased first half an hour. I thought we had some good moments. They were defending well, stopping our progressions, especially around 25th minute. We were finding it really hard to find some forward movement, and then it was just crazy. Like, you know, we had 12 minutes where we just kind of lost our heads. I don't even know how the first goal got scored. I thought it was pretty just wasn't good defending. And then the second one, the rebound, the second phase, I just felt like we lost every second ball, every ball that went into the box. Our reaction was quite poor. You know, we had about, it wasn't the whole game, but it was a majority of that last 15 minutes. And I thought, you know, we got punished. You know, they're the sort of team that plays those second moments quite well. And, they're first because of it, you know. I didn't really think in terms of open play, you know, we were going to have a lot of problems. I was more worried about set pieces and, you know, those moments, and we actually got punished on those. Second half, I was really happy with the reaction. We got it to 3-1. I was stoked for, you know, Luke Brooks-Smith scoring, and then, you know, and then once they scored the fourth, I think the game, over. But, you know, we still kept pushing, which is one thing that I've got to credit the boys. I never got the feeling in that game that they gave up. They actually were pushing the whole time, which was good. But yeah, just punished from silly errors.
Chico Geraldes, you know, I think second touch was back heel, a few good moments. He looks like he's a player who can perhaps, you know, even after those results, still give you the spark you need as you still try to...
Yeah, I agree. And also we got Marco on for the last 20, like Luke Brooks-Smith as well. Just was a nice dynamic. You know, we went to a 4-1 in that second half, and, you know, I like being on the front foot as a team, but, you know, you need to have the right profile of players to do that, and the available players and some experience. I thought Chico was great today, to be fair. Like, I thought when he wasn't receiving the pocket, you know, he had license to come down, pick up, be a third man. And, you know, I think he played one really nice ball from deep, a little cut ball in that first half that we could have scored. That's something that we've been missing for a bit. So the plan was only to play him 45 today, and I pushed him to 90 because I needed to. You know, we're running out of games now, and the fact that he got through 90 means I can start using him regularly.
I guess the plan, what went into deciding when to, you know, when to start with, when to bring him on half time?
Yeah.
And how tough was that for you, and do you think you could have pushed him more? Like, given that you did, you said push you.
I said this on the press up before the game. The issue is, like, I think he wants to start and he feels like he can, you know, contribute more minutes. It's more the fact that if we push him too hard, there's a potential of a relapse, which is then will take him out for the season. So we have to play it really, you know, we have to play it week by week, day by day. So I was planning maybe half an hour today for him, not 45. But the way the game panned out, I needed a little bit of leadership on the park, and I thought he was good. But I think when he got towards the end of the second half, you could tell that it was definitely feeling in the legs.
Can you think of any reason why there's been this pattern of conceding poor goals in these?
It's not by design. Yeah, it's not by design. I think it's a good question. You know, it's easy to throw the players under a bus. So first I have to look at, you know, whether tactically we set up, whether we put the right plan in place. You know, that comes with self-reflection during the week. Maybe it's the moment and the expectation, and you know, I mean, I can't talk to their mindset because I'm not playing the game, but the feel I get sometimes is when things get a little bit hard and there's a there needs to be a higher awareness. Sometimes we're not focused 100% on what the priority is, and that could be the structure, that could be picking up a certain player, and again, like, I was disappointed at halftime. I let the players know that was unacceptable, the way we just lost every second ball and so on. I didn't think that was good. I didn't think that was good awareness. I think the players know better, and sometimes they need to go through that to learn. But again, the good thing out of that was the second half. There was a market improvement, more of a focus, and it's crazy to think that I actually, after that second half, was like, okay, if we can put this all together, we still have a chance here to save our season. And I think maybe, I like to think that the players learn from this.
Was there anything Auckland did today that surprised you?
No, pretty much. We were more worried about set pieces, corners, free kicks. We were more worried about our defensive duels. It wasn't anything that we didn't plan for. I just think that they won too many of them, and we were too reactive for large parts of that first half, and that's the reason why we were 3-0 down at half time. I can't recall up until the 30th like a clear chance that they had. And I'm just going off the top of my head here, so yeah. And then once they scored, all of a sudden, there was a drop in focus, and there were 2 goals that also from moments, in the box off the second phase, third phase. So, it's, but again, they've made a whole season of it, and we planned for that, and that was probably the disappointing part, that we just weren't, alert to that.
And this must be very hard for you and the team to deal with, given all the amazing things you did last season. It must be quite hard to deal with where you are, but it sounds like you still believe you can make a late surge.
Yeah, no, I'm still hopeful. I think, I think we can win 7 out of the last 9 or 6, and not lose again and have a couple of draws. We're definitely in it. I still think around the 40-point mark is where the 6 will be, roughly, give or take. Teams are taking points away from each other. No, I'm always hopeful. There's never been a point of the season where I've given up. It's more about motivating the group and making sure that they don't give up, and the morale's still good. Again, it was easy to throw in the toys at halftime. At 3-0, most teams probably take a more cautious approach. We were on the front foot. I felt like we had some really good passages. There was some really nice passages today that we haven't done for a while, so that excited me. It's just a matter of showing the players that if we can do it consistently, that there's still something definitely to play for. And up until we're mathematically out, we're going to keep pushing. And when we are mathematically out, I'm going to still play the same style and try, get them ready for next season as well.
Are you going to be here next season?
Yes, the intention is to be here next year.
Just another question. So, why the second 45 and the second? You knew you 40 might only play 30. I guess, did you ever consider starting him? I guess, he's such a key player.
Who's it? Oh, yeah.
And I guess the
and take him off.
And the
yeah.
He's such a key player that when you remove him.
Yeah, so I did actually think of that. But then in terms of the rhythm of the game, if I start him, I'm not really sure, making a sub at 30 is a smart decision. And as well, I think there's a bit more bite to the game in the first half. So putting him on early, just a different dynamic. I like the game being a little bit more open as well. Players are fatigued as well. So, and I thought against Victory last week, to be fair, he came on. He changed the game in terms of, wasn't like his best game for progressions, but you could feel a presence. It's just more about, because I think the game was a little bit open then. But again, I think we did the smart thing.
Are you going to have time to get Rufa, Chico, Marco, Luke all playing 60, 70 minutes in order to win 6 or 7 out of that?
Well, that's the plan, yeah. So, I'm kind of hoping that, Rufa's probably in a position to start next week. But if I start him, I'm not going to start him just for the sake of just one half of football. I will push him until, he can't go anymore. Luke Brooks-Smith can run 90. Chico now can run 90. Marco, I think he played 20 today, could probably get into about 30, 35 good minutes, just depending on how his body recovers. So even like today, Marco off the bench is great, great to have. So, that gives me a lot of hope.
You said Auckland didn't surprise you. Did the Auckland fans surprise you by being around your bus out on the street before the game?
It's not a big thing for me. I've been around football for a long time. I've seen a lot of crazy things with buses and so on. I just thought I think it was a lack of security, which I thought was a little bit unprofessional, because when the team bus comes in, you need someone to escort it through, because these things happen. So, but I'm pretty sure they'll rectify that.
Were they actually banging on the bus at all?
There was some banging. There was some people just walking on the street delaying the bus, and there was a couple of chants. I couldn't understand what they were saying, but look, it's a nothing thing for me.
On one hand, there's just a little attention to detail picks it up, but like when you arrived here in New Zealand 5-6 years ago, do you think you'd be surrounded like that?
No, I didn't, and again, these things happen. I wasn't shocked. I think it was just I was a little bit worried about my bus driver who was getting very angry. So it's all good.
So I was just stops it like you came on board and something right outside the stadium. It was just right near the entrance. That happened.
We turned where the railway was. I don't know the roads here. And then it's a road that leads up to the stadium. And so the fan base were all walking up at the same time we were coming up with a bus. The issue wasn't that they were walking up, because it was just more about having a clearance for us to actually move up the road. And then when they started coming out, there was just no security around for a long time. So that was probably a bigger issue. We were there, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. Yeah, we stalled for quite a bit.
Like delaying your arrival, in a way that impacted the performance, or
Yeah, we were 15 minutes late, I think, and we were talking about having a delay of the game. It was just, it's probably something that no one anticipated would happen, because for me, usually have a contingency plan that, all right, you're going to have a team bus come through, and if something happens, you have security leading it. So, look, they'll learn. Next time, it's not going to happen. So,
just one last one on
sure
on Pounds on Luke Brooks-Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He's taken that goal. There's 3 or 4 times in that game also. He's tracked that the whole way down that left flank.
Yeah.
How have you seen him progress since he first came in here? He had his contract right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess how careful when you look at the year ahead, the ALeague, these actual World Cups,
Mm-hmm.
knowing how young he is, is there a plan in place to make sure that his development takes place, in an appropriate fashion? Do you get what I'm saying? He's managed properly. He's not thrown in too deep.
Yeah, so I think that's something I'm very clear with. Is that my duty of care with these players is making sure they're not exposed and put under scrutiny that they can't handle. It's very toxic at the moment in terms of social media and comments, and even the good stuff that they get kind of inflates, I don't want to say ego, but their expectations and so on. I've been there before as well, so it's a very dangerous thing. I think with young players, if you pad them around more senior players, good leaders, then they can manage that and integrate him slowly. But we've had a situation this year where we had a lot of them, quickly, the reason why I signed Luke was because I think I mentioned at the beginning of the year, there's a lot of unpredictability and something that you can't coach. And that for me is just harnessing that. And, he played against MacArthur, I think, I can't remember, or Newcastle, he started. And we defended in a low block, so it was very hard for him to get out. And I just remember watching him after that game, and his his head was spinning, you know, so he's a young kid, you know, like, and then where I was really happy was last week against Melbourne Victory when he came on, he actually made a big chance. And then so his confidence is building, you know, tempering his expectation. Today, you know, you saw what he can do, you know, and if he keeps incrementally, you know, building on that, 10 minutes here, another 20 minutes there, you know, he experiences these games. Probably a good thing that, you know, he had an error today that led to a goal, because he'll learn from that as well. You know, it takes away, you know, all right, I did well, but, you know, I can improve this. So, you know, give it a year or two and, you know, who knows, World Cup's around the corner, could be in contention, I don't know. But that's something that I'm not talking to him about. I think his main focus is getting minutes and getting a start and building on that.
You have to said it at a press conference, though.
Sorry?
You have to said it at a press conference.
I have to say it?
World Cup. You mentioned World Cup.
Yeah.
It's certainly going for our hands.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand. But it's a healthy time for New Zealand and the World Cup. I think there's a lot of good competition, and the Auckland franchise now has given some opportunities to guys, you know, to make that squad. So it'd be good. I'd like to see New Zealand make a World Cup and do well.
Can I just ask one more, sorry? I know last
Yeah.
Francis agrees with Pop Arena.
Was he?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
You know, he was hanging around Auckland and he was, you know, he's fit.
Sure.
And he'd been in Hawaii. I mean, you're saying he never was on your radar, like, you know, you talk about set pieces, he's probably set up those first two
Yeah,
goals.
look, last year I think we had Luke signed.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, and Suts. So not that the year before potentially might have been a name floated, but yeah, I think Suts was considered, you know, the number one starting, and I think I can't even remember. Suts. Yeah. I don't think he was in consideration, or because I wasn't looking for a left back. Maybe the year before that, I remember when McGarry was floated, and back then I have to look at recruitment stuff. But yeah, no, he's done well.